A small lemonade cart taught a grown man the biggest lesson of his life. People often say, "Wait for the right time," but my uncle used to say something very different. He would smile calmly and say, "The right time doesn't come, you create it." When I was younger, I didn't fully understand what he meant. One evening, while we were sitting outside watching the sunset, he told me a story about a man named Karim. Karim lived in a quiet town. People there knew him for one strange habit. Karim was always waiting. He waited for the perfect job. He waited for the perfect business idea. He waited for the perfect opportunity. Whenever someone suggested something new, Karim would simply shake his head and say, "Not now, the time isn't right." At first, people understood. Everyone wants the right moment. But life around him slowly started moving forward. One of his friends opened a small bicycle repair shop on the corner of the street. Another began selling vegetables in the morning market. Their businesses were small and their days were long. Sometimes they struggled. But month by month, their lives slowly improved. They learned new skills. They earned a little more money. Most importantly, they kept moving forward. Karim watched everything from the side, and he kept waiting. Days passed, months passed, and before Karim realized it, years had quietly gone by. One hot afternoon, Karim sat outside his house watching people walk along the dusty road. Children ran past him laughing. Vendors called out to customers. Life was moving all around him. That's when he noticed a young boy pushing a small wooden cart. On the cart was a simple handwritten sign, "Fresh Lemonade." The boy stopped near the road and began calling out, "Cold lemonade! Fresh lemonade!" The sun was hot and sweat rolled down the boy's face, but he kept smiling. Karim watched him for a moment and chuckled quietly. "This boy thinks lemonade will make him successful," he said to himself. But the boy didn't seem to care what anyone thought. The next day he returned, and the day after that. Rain or heat, morning or evening, he showed up with the same cart. Slowly, people started recognizing him. Some stopped for a drink, others told their friends. Months later, the small cart turned into a bigger stand with a bright umbrella above it. And one day, Karim noticed something surprising. Just a few streets away, there was now a small lemonade shop, and the boy was standing behind the counter. Curious, Karim walked inside. The young man greeted him with a friendly smile. Karim looked around the shop and asked, "How did you grow so quickly?" The young man smiled and replied simply, "I didn't wait for the perfect time. I started with the time I had." Those words stayed in Karim's mind long after he left the shop. That night, he couldn't sleep. For years, he believed he was being patient, but now he realized something painful. While he was waiting for the perfect moment, time itself had quietly passed him by. The next morning, Karim made a decision. For the first time in years, he stopped waiting. He looked around his house and found a box of old tools that once belonged to his father. Suddenly, he remembered something. When he was younger, his father had taught him how to repair wooden furniture, chairs, tables, cabinets. Karim picked up the tools and placed a small sign outside his house. It simply said, "Furniture repair, low price." The first day, no one came. The second day, someone brought a broken chair. Karim repaired it carefully. The customers smiled and thanked him. Soon another person came, then another. Week by week, Karim worked harder. His hands became rough and his back often felt tired, but something wonderful was happening. People began to trust him. Months later, Karim opened a small workshop. The same neighbors who once saw him sitting outside doing nothing now came to him for help. One evening, Karim sat outside his workshop watching the sunset. In the distance, he saw the lemonade seller walking by. The young man waved. Karim smiled and waved back. Then he quietly said to himself, "The perfect time was never missing. I was just too busy waiting for it." Remember this lesson. Don't wait for the perfect time. Create it. And if this story made you think a little differently today, subscribe for more stories that inspire real change.